guys, today we're going to be doing a few test hits on the street in order to just make sure everything's good after all the changes that I've made, swapping the car back over to no prep, and also just making some changes from when the last time I ran it on this kind of surface. I have been on asphalt like this. It's a really bad surface, not going to be going very fast on it at all, but we're going to try and go fast for the surface. So some of the changes that I've made since the last time I did this kind of racing is I have a different torque converter and stator now. Now I have the Circle D Specialties, and they gave me a no prep stator to use, so that should work better than the one I had last time. Last time I was just running the same stator that was meant to be for radials, so I should have a little bit better converter function with that. I should be a little bit looser. Also, I've moved the radiator to the back of the car, so that should help me out weight wise. And then as far as adding weight, I've added all the same amount of weight that I had in it previously, plus, the fact that the radiator moved from the front to the back, so that should help as well. I did need more rear weight the last time, I feel like I could have benefited from it. And then also, whenever I swapped over to radials, I changed the bar angles to give myself a little bit more anti-squat, to be a little bit more aggressive for the radial stuff versus where I was at on no prep. And I went ahead and left that because I do believe, especially on this surface, that I could use a little bit more anti-squat and a little bit more separation to help us get a little bit more traction. But we're going to find out. So I'm going to get everything unloaded and get up here and make some hits and see what happens. So as you guys may be able to tell from those videos, I was struggling a little bit there on the street trying to get things figured out. That first pass was pretty rough. Smoked the tires all the way down, but was able to pick up a couple tenths each pass. And I felt like the last pass, it made it down clean, and I felt like it was a decent enough first round tune-up going into Hobbs. It's a fairly similar surface, but Hobbs is a bit better. I did go a couple tenths faster last year out on that road whenever I tested for the same race, so I was a little bit frustrated that I wasn't able to match that or go faster because I felt like the car had improved since then. But looking back, I can definitely see some reasons why that didn't happen. One being the road is just in much worse shape than it was last year. You can actually see in some of the clips there some rocks sticking to my tires just from the road just falling apart. We actually only did a water burnout on the road just to try and help that as much as possible. That road is so bad that if you do a pimp juice burnout, you're just going to rip that top surface up and not get any traction really. You're better off just using water. But unfortunately that road had just gone away, so that threw us off a little bit. But I still felt like that last pass I made was a decent first round tune-up. I just needed to speed it up a little bit early and in the middle. So that's exactly what I did going into first round. Speaking of first round, once I got there, seen that Stephen Little was there with the Kraken, and he is very fast on these asphalt surfaces, so I was hoping that I could stay away from him, and unfortunately that is not how things went. Ended up drawing him first round, so I think we were both a little bit nervous about that. You know, I had some previous data on the surface, even though it was with a little bit of a different combo, but at the same time he is very good at that kind of racing. He was also on a 29.5, and I can only fit a 28 on my car. I'm not sure exactly how big the difference is, but I felt like on a surface like that there probably is some advantage. So I was a little bit worried, but you know, just put the best tune-up I felt like I could together, and I went into first round, and I'll show you guys how that went. So as you guys can see, we had a really good race there with Steven. He ended up getting me by about a fender, I believe they called it. It was actually close enough that neither one of us knew who won. We were both messaging our crew on the return road asking who won that one. So that was really cool to be able to be that close to him on a surface like that. You know, I was just hoping that I didn't get gapped, so I was pretty happy with that, even though I did end up losing, of course. And then Steven did end up going on and winning all of it. He had everybody covered by quite a bit. He ended up picking up quite a bit later on as well. I'm not sure if I would have been able to get around him even if we did draw each other a little bit later and I had some more data. He's a hard person to beat, but it's good to get to race people like that just to see where I you know, compare to them. You know, you can't be the best unless you beat the best. And we weren't able to do it this time, but was able to learn and figure out some things to do better the next time. So that's what it's all about. And we did end up getting to buy into a little bit of a loser's bracket race that they put on after. Pretty much just ended up allowing everybody to buy in except for the winners of the classes. So we had a decent little race set up for that. Unfortunately, first round or first pair, there was a crash, and then the left lane ended up getting oiled down pretty badly. I had drew the right lane, and I had already made my tune-up. I picked it up quite a bit there early in the run, as I said, where it was slow and you know, not too crazy though, because I was, of course, expecting to be in eliminations, not expecting to get a bye run. But since that left lane got oiled down, the race ended up getting called, but they did allow me to make a test pass anyways, and you know, get the data and see how that pass was going to go. And anyways, I will show you guys that pass. So we were able to pick up pretty significantly on that pass. I went about a 1/10.5 quicker than I did in the first round pass, so I was pretty happy with that, especially since I wasn't expecting that to be a bye. I would have turned it up more if I knew it was going to be. I ended up about a 1/10 or so off of where I wanted to end up on that surface. I do believe I could have got there if I had some more passes. But I also believe that even if I got to where I wanted to be, I wasn't going to be fast enough for the Kraken. But that's good information and data for next time. And it was a really good time being able to go out there and support that race for you know, the memorial race for Faustino. And I look forward to next year getting to go back, and hopefully we can do a little bit more testing on or racing on a surface like that, and get it a little bit more figured out. It's really challenging, but it's also pretty fun to try to get a car down a surface like that. You really have to kill a lot of power, especially on a combination like mine. I'm leaving 2-3 pounds of boost and pulling a lot of timing in order to get it to go down. So it's a much different challenge, but it's a lot of fun. Anyways, that's going to be it for this video. Next time out, we're going to be doing some front side testing to make sure that the new converter and everything and all the other changes work well on front side of the track, and see if we can get back to where we were last year and prepare for a couple of $5,000 to win races coming up in Amarillo. So anyways, I'll see you guys in the next one.